Odyssey, Book 4, continued, lines 901 to 991. Penelope learns of Telemachus' trip and the plot to ambush him. She wails and calls for Euryclea. But long time passed not ere Penelope had notice of their far-fetched treachery. Medon the heralds told her, who had heard without the hall how they within conferred, and hasted straight to tell it to the queen, who, from the entry having Medon seen, prevents him thus. Now, herald, what affair intend the famous wooers in your repair? To tell Ulysses' maids that they must cease from doing our work and their banquets dress? I would to heaven that, leaving wooing me, nor ever troubling other company, here might the last feast be, and most extreme, that ever any shall address for them. They never meet but to consent in spoil, and reap the free fruits of another's toil. And did they never, when they children were, what to their fathers was Ulysses here, who never did 'gainst any one proceed with unjust usage, or in word or deed. 'Tis yet with other kings another right, one to pursue with love, another spite. He still yet just, nor would, though might devour, nor to the worst did ever taste of power, but their unruled acts show their minds' estate. Good turns received once, thanks grow out of date. Medon, the learned in wisdom, answered her, I wish, O queen, that their ingratitudes were their worst ill toward you. But worse by far, and much more deadly their endeavors are, which Jove will fail them in. Telemachus their purpose is, as he returns to us, to give their sharp steels in a cruel death, who now is gone to learn if fame can breathe news of his sire, and will the Pelian shore and sacred Sparta in his search explore. This news dissolved to her both knees and heart. Long silence held her ere one word would part. Her eyes stood full of tears, her small, soft voice all late youth lost, that yet as at last had choice of wanted words, which briefly thus she used. Why left my son his mother? Why refused his wit the solid shore to try the seas, and put in ships the trust of his distress, that are at sea to man unbridled horse, and run past rule their far engaged course? Amidst a moisture past all mean unstayed, no need compelled this. Did he it, afraid to live and leave posterity his name? I know not, Medon replied, if the humour came from current or his own instinct, or flowed from others' instigations. But he vowed attempt to Pylos, or to see descend his sire's return, or know what death he died. This said, he took him to Ulysses' house after the wooers, the Ulyssean spouse, run through with woes, let torture seize her mind. Nor in her choice of state chairs stood inclined to take her seat, but the abject threshold chose of her fair chamber for her loathed repose, and mourned most wretch-like. Round about her fell her handmaids, joined in a continuate yell. From every corner of the palace, all of all degrees turned to her comfort's fall their own dejections, to whom her complaint she thus enforced. The gods, beyond constraint of any measure, urged these tears on me. Nor was there ever dame of my degree so past degree grieved. First, a lord so good, that had such hearty spirits in his blood, that all the virtues was adorned withal, that all the Greeks did their superior call, to part with us and lose. And now a son so worthily beloved, a course to run beyond my knowledge, whom rude tempests have made far from home his most inglorious grave. Unhappy wenches, that no one of all, though in the reach of every one, must fall his taking ship, sustain the careful mind, to call me from my bed, who this designed and most vowed course in him had either stayed, how much soever hasted, or dead laid he should have left me. Many a man I have that would have called old Dolius my slave, that keeps my orchard, whom my father gave at my departure, to have run and told Laertes this, to try if he could hold from running through the people and from tears, in telling them of these vowed murderers, that both divine Ulysses' hope and his resolved to end, and their conspiracies.